everybody, and welcome to this special edition of Sports for CLE, where we are previewing the Women's Mid-American Conference Basketball Tournament set to get underway at Rocket Arena. 8 teams arrive with the same goal: win the tournament, punch your ticket to the NCAA tournament. The bracket is set, and always the path to get there is not going to be easy for any of these 8 teams. The tournament begins Wednesday at 11 on ESPN+. The quarterfinals open up with the top seed, the Miami Redhawks, taking on the 8th seed Kent State Golden Flashes, who have been beat up all season long. So this will be the 3rd meeting of the season, with Miami winning both of the earlier contests. Earlier this month, Miami took down Kent State as they exploded for a 20-6 first quarter lead. The Redhawks continue to lead the MAC in scoring defense by allowing only 58 points per game. For the second quarterfinal of the day, Central Michigan takes on Ohio University. These two teams met only once in the regular season, but it was a good one. Bailey Tabling nailed a 25-footer at the buzzer to send the game to overtime. The Bobcats would eventually win that game by 2, 85-83. For the Chippewas, third-year head coach Kristen Haney has turned this team around. They won 6 games in her first season, 12 in her second, and 18 games in this, her 3rd year. In Game 3 of the quarterfinals, co-regular season champs Ball State takes on Bowling Green. The Cardinals have only lost twice in their last 17 games, both to Miami. On Valentine's Day, Ball State beat the Falcons by 15 by shooting 50% from three-point range. Bowling Green's calling card is their defense. They led the MAC in block shots per game and are second in steals per game. And for the last quarterfinal of the day, Massachusetts takes on Toledo. UMass had a tremendous 15-3 record in their first year in the Mid-American Conference. However, they're only meeting against the Rockets in the regular season. Toledo won by 8 on the road. Toledo made it to the MAC championship last year and are looking to finish the mission in 2026. Now we're going to step aside, take a quick timeout. Other side of the break, we examine the X factors for each team in the Mid-American Conference Tournament. You're watching a special edition of Sports for CLE, previewing the Women's Mid-American Conference Basketball Tournament. We'll be right back.
Get ready for MACtion like never before. The 2026 Mid-American Conference Basketball Tournament, presented by Credit Union One, returns to Rocket Arena March 11th through the 14th. Every shot, every steal, every buzzer beater, it all comes down to this: the best of the MAC men's and women's teams battle for glory, pride, and a ticket to the big dance. Feel the intensity, hear the roar. MAC Tournament Basketball. Be there. Tickets on sale now at rocketarena.com.
You got so much to do, it's got you feeling blue. Put a little play in your day, 'cause it's fun all over the state. So come on, great games wait for you and me, the Ohio Lottery. Put a little play in your day, put a little play in your day.
Sports for CLE is an hour of news and discussion specifically for Northeast Ohioans. Browns, Cavs, Guardians, and Buckeyes. Sports for CLE goes in-depth on them all Monday through Friday. Hi, everybody. I'm Dave Bacon. Join me from 4 to 5 weekdays on Cleveland.com and YouTube as we go in-depth on Sports for CLE. We'll have the players making the news and the analysts covering it throughout Northeast Ohio. Join me Monday through Friday at 4 on Cleveland.com and YouTube for Sports for CLE. Welcome back to this special edition of Sports for CLE, previewing the Women's Mid-American Conference Basketball Tournament. We just took a look at the quarterfinal matchups. Time to take a look at an X factor for each of those 8 teams trying to punch their ticket to the NCAAs. We begin with the top seed, Miami Redhawks. Tamar Singer has emerged as an important piece for Miami, and that versatility is exactly why she's an X factor in the tournament. Singer can stretch the floor with her shooting, but she also impacts the game with her smart decision-making and strong defensive play. In tournament basketball, players who can contribute in multiple ways become even more valuable. If Singer is knocking down shots, making plays for the Redhawks, Miami becomes a very difficult team to slow down. For the 2-seed Ball State Cardinals, it's Gonzaga transfer Bree Salenbine. Ball State has plenty of scoring options, but Salenbine could be the player who swings momentum in the tournament. Her ability to score from the perimeter forces defense to stretch out, creating space for the Cardinals' offense. When she's confident in knocking down threes, Ball State becomes even more dangerous. If Salenbine gets into a rhythm in Cleveland, the Cardinals' offense can really take off. UMass earned the 3-seed thanks to Yamani McHale. She brings energy and athleticism that can change the tone of a game quickly. McHale is active defensively and capable of creating offense in transition, two traits that can be huge in tournament setting. Her ability to pressure opponents and turn defense into offense gives the Minute Women another spark. If McHale is making plays on both ends of the floor, UMass becomes a much tougher matchup. Central Michigan made an impressive turnaround this year, and a contributing factor was Maddie Morrison. Morrison gives Central Michigan a scoring punch that can make a big difference during tournament play. She's capable of heating up quickly from the perimeter and providing the Chippewas with timely offense. In games where every possession matters, having a player who can knock down big shots is invaluable. If Morrison finds her rhythm in Cleveland, Central Michigan can make a serious run. For the Ohio Bobcats, Bailey Tabling's experience and leadership make her an important X factor. Tabling has the ability to control the pace of the game while she's also creating scoring opportunities for herself and her teammates. In tournament basketball, having a steady presence in the backcourt can make all the difference. If Tabling is distributing, defending, and scoring when needed, Bobcats are a very balanced team. Toledo lost in the championship last year but made it back to Cleveland. Patricia Anumga gives Toledo a powerful presence in the paint. That makes her a key X factor heading into the tournament. Anumga's rebounding and rim protection anchor the Rockets defensively, while her ability to finish inside provides valuable points in the half court. Physical play in the post often becomes even more important in tournament games. If Anumga controls the boards and protects the rim, Toledo will be tough to beat. If Bowling Green wants to steal some victories, they'll look towards the max steals leader in Janaea Donahue's quickness and playmaking to give Bowling Green a spark that can change a game in a hurry. Donahue is capable of pushing the pace, creating offense, and putting pressure on opposing defenses. In a tournament setting where momentum swings quickly, guards who can make plays become extremely valuable. If Donahue is attacking and creating opportunities, the Falcons can generate the offense they need to advance. And finally, don't sleep on Todd Starkey's golden flashes. Maya Babbitt's scoring ability makes her a major X factor for Kent State in the tournament. Babbitt has the confidence to shoot from deep and the skill to create offense when the Flashes need a basket. In tight tournament games, players who can stretch the defense and knock down big shots often become difference makers. If Babbitt gets hot from the perimeter, Kent State's offense becomes very difficult to contain. We're going to step aside, take a quick timeout. When we return, we'll talk about Wednesday for women, something the Mid-American Conference is involved in. Sports for CLE's Mid-American Conference preview for the women's basketball tournament. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Get ready for action like never before. The 2026 Mid-American Conference Basketball Tournament presented by Credit Union 1 returns to Rocket Arena March 11th through the 14th. Every shot, every steal, every buzzer beater, it all comes down to this. The best of the MAC men's and women's teams battle for glory, pride, and a ticket to the big dance. Feel the intensity, hear the roar. MAC Tournament Basketball. Be there. Tickets on sale now at rocketarena.com.
You got so much to do, it's got you feeling blue. Put a little flag in your day, 'cause it's fun all over the state. So come on, great games wait for you and me. The Ohio Lottery. Put a little flag in your day. Put a little flag in your day.
Sports for CLE is an hour of news and discussion specifically for Northeast Ohioans. Browns, Cavs, Guardians, and Buckeyes. Sports for CLE goes in depth on them all Monday through Friday. Hi, everybody. I'm Dave Bacon. Join me from 4 to 5 weekdays on Cleveland.com and YouTube as we go in depth on Sports for CLE. We'll have the players making the news and the analysts covering it throughout Northeast Ohio. Join me Monday through Friday at 4 on Cleveland.com and YouTube for Sports for CLE. Sports for CLE Special Edition continues previewing the Mid-American Conference Women's Basketball Tournament. This Wednesday not only marks the start of the Women's Mid-American Conference Tournament down at Rocket Arena, but it's also the 5th annual Wednesday is for Women event held at Rocket Arena in conjunction with the tournament. This year's message is redefining care for active women and athletes, where the panelists will explore a new approach to health care, optimizing performance and overall well-being.
Truly everyone should attend this panel. I mean, specifically, right, if you're an active woman, athlete, consider yourself an athlete, no matter where you are in your competition cycle, where you are in your lifespan, please come, right? I think this is an opportunity to ask questions, right? We hope that this isn't just us going to be talking at you. We want to hear from you, and we want you to feel heard.
On the larger scale, I think it's so important to have this conversation and this panel because historically there's been so much more research surrounding male athletes and looking at the male side of athletic performance and health, and we need to have that same conversation on the female side.
The majority of studies done in sports medicine are done on males, and there's not always a female counterpart. So we still have a lot of work to do and a lot of research to do to truly understand how the woman's body moves, how our physiology is different, how our mechanics are different. And these are things that we're hoping to move forward with research in the field.
In terms of what I think people will gain, I really hope that people get a sense of empowerment, develop curiosity about women, women's health, staying active, staying engaged. I mean, I think everyone wins, right?
Tickets are $30, and the event will take place at 5 p.m. at Rocket Arena this Wednesday, right in the middle of the Mid-American Conference Basketball Tournament. When we come back, it's time for each case on the women's side of the bracket to state their case as to why they can win the Mid-American Conference Tournament and punch their ticket to the NCAA Tournament.
Get ready for action like never before. The 2026 Mid-American Conference Basketball Tournament presented by Credit Union 1 returns to Rocket Arena March 11th through the 14th. Every shot, every steal, every buzzer beater, it all comes down to this. The best of the MAC men's and women's teams battle for glory, pride, and a ticket to the big dance. Feel the intensity, hear the roar. MAC Tournament Basketball. Be there. Tickets on sale now at rocketarena.com.
You got so much to do, it's got you feeling blue. Put a little flag in your day, 'cause it's fun all over the state. So come on, great games wait for you and me, the Ohio Lottery. Put a little flag in your day, put a little flag in your day.
Sports for CLE is an hour of news and discussion specifically for Northeast Ohioans. Browns, Cavs, Guardians, and Buckeyes. Sports for CLE goes in depth on them all Monday through Friday. Hi, everybody. I'm Dave Bacon. Join me from 4 to 5 weekdays on Cleveland.com and YouTube as we go in depth on Sports for CLE. We'll have the players making the news and the analysts covering it throughout Northeast Ohio. Join me Monday through Friday at 4 on Cleveland.com and YouTube for Sports for CLE. Sports for CLE's special edition previewing the MAC Women's Basketball Tournament continues. When it comes to the Mid-American Conference Tournament, especially on the women's side of things, anything can happen. Not only have 5 different teams won the past 5 years, but we've seen a 6 seed and an 8 seed win the past 9 tournaments. With that being said, here is why every team feels they can win the Mid-American Conference Tournament this year.
This Kent State team has a chance to make a run through the tournament because of a multitude of reasons, but mainly it's because of their off-season schedule. They went through a rigorous off-season which prepared them and propelled them for conference play. Then they battled some injuries, some illnesses, had a lot of different lineups. A multitude of players had to step in, which added to their depth. This is a team with Maya Babbitt, one of the most prolific scorers in the conference. Should she get hot from long range, she's got the ability to attack in the inside, really opens up the floor for what the Flashes want to do. And this is a team that's been there before, incredibly well coached, and if they get things together and get rolling, they really could put together a magical run to collect their 2nd title in just 3 seasons.
Well, there are 3 keys for Bowling Green coming into the Mid-American Conference Tournament, and it starts with the transition offense. Bowling Green needs to find that easy offense, not getting caught working deep into the shot clock. Falcons need to get to the basket early and often. Bench production will also be key for Bowling Green. They haven't had a ton of depth this season, but players need to come in and do their part. Then you rely on the trio of guards that have been so key for Bowling Green throughout the season. You start with Paige Kohler, the most experienced Falcon on this team. She has been a double-digit scorer, capable of going to the basket and scoring from the outside. Nate Donahue, possible Mid-American Conference Defensive Player of the Year, also a double-digit scorer. And then Kaya Woods comes over from Akron, her first year in a Falcons uniform, and she loves to push the pace. All 3 of those players can help lead Bowling Green there in Cleveland if the Falcons want to get it done and win a MAC tournament title.
For the University of Toledo women's basketball team, as they enter the postseason tournament in Cleveland, they're going to hitch their wagon to the defensive end of the floor. In terms of scoring defense, they're giving up just over 62 points per game, but that's been better in conference play where they're giving up just over 60 points per ball game. 8 times they've held MAC opponents to under 55 points. They've out-rebounded their opponents 21 times out of the 28 ball games in league play. If Toledo's going to win a championship, it's going to be on that end of the floor because in the tournament play, offensive numbers come down, defense holds serve, and if Toledo can perform at that level, they'll have a chance to win the Mid-American Conference Championship.
Yeah, if Ohio's going to win this tournament, it all starts with their defense. This is a team that's top 20 in the country. Right now, 15th in the country in steals per game. They love to get out and run. They love to play fast and play in transition. When this team can play in transition, get a quick paint touch, and start shooting threes, that's when you'll see Ohio women's basketball have a lot of success. Again, top 20 in the country in steals per game. They are currently top 5 in the country in threes made per game. They make 10 threes per game, and that's, again, when this team starts to really gel. If you get them in a half-court game, it can be tricky for this Ohio team, but all in all, steals per game, top 20 in the country. Threes made per game, top 5 in the country. They'll get out and run, make threes. It starts with the defense. If they can do that, they've got a shot to do some damage this week in Cleveland.
One of the main reasons I think Central Michigan could win it all this year, the 1-2 punch of Maddie Morrison and Ayanna Sarai Darrington. You're talking about 2 of the most dynamic scorers in the league. One of them, Maddie Morrison, she is the best scorer in the league, averaging 20 points per game, and she is a 3-level scorer. She can do it from the outside, mid-range, or get to the cup. On top of Darrington's high field goal percentage, she is also one of the best rebounders in the league, and you collaborate that with Taylor Anderson, who's even better than she is. So you have great rebounding, and specifically great offensive rebounding with this Central Michigan team. You have great scoring. Now it's just a matter of, can you win 3 games in 3 days? The history is there for the Chippewas. They won this tournament in 2021. They won it in 2018, went all the way to the Sweet 16. Can Kristen Haney's crew do it again in 2026? I think they've got a great shot.
Here is why the Massachusetts Minutewomen are a team to fear at the MAC tournament. This team has a lot of continuity. 4 of their 5 starters and 6 of their top 7 rotation players were all part of this team last year under head coach Mike Leffler, and they play like a strong, connected team. That leads to outstanding defense. This team mixes in a lot of presses. They force a lot of turnovers, and they limit opponents to just 26% from 3, which is far and away the best mark in the conference. They also have the capability to score in bunches 1 through 3. So Ali Palmieri, Yamani McHale, and Megan Olbrys all averaging in double figures. All are capable of monster games, with Chineye Odenigbo leading the conference in field goal percentage at the center spot. They've taken down the biggest teams in the conference this year in their maiden year in the MAC, and they are a team that has a lot of momentum, courage, and mentality going into this conference tournament. They are excited to take the court and prove that they are right up there with the MAC's best in Cleveland.
Hey everybody, this is Voice of the Cardinals, Mick Tidrow over at Ball State, and I can't wait for the Mid-American Conference Women's Basketball Tournament. Ball State comes in co-champions of the regular season, 2 straight years at the regular season champions, and now trying to defend the title that they captured last year in the MAC tournament. This team passes extremely well, one of the best assist teams in the country, one of the best rebounding teams in the nation, and so balanced offensively and defensively. Really excited to see what this group has in Cleveland, Ohio, trying to defend that MAC championship from last season.
Miami's success is traced to last year when they qualified for the tournament, but then were eliminated in the first round. It's been 6 years, and they won 19 games. Now they have 4 starters back from that team, and believe it or not, that's the best in the league. Nobody's got 4 starters back, and they have done a great job all season long as they are at the top of the standings. When you think about it, it was Amber Treader and then sophomore Ilsa DeFries. Those two are probably the best post tandem in the league. And you think about how they have played inside, and then they can step out and hit the 3 ball, very flexible. Then you got to get the ball to them, and that is Tamar Singer. She is the sophomore, 200 assists this season. That's a program record. She's top 4 in the country in assists, averaging about 7 a game. Senior transfer Amber Scalia, 3-level scorer, over 1,500 points in her career. She's been a big addition. And then Nuria Horho, one of the top 3-point shooters in the league. And the other thing to build on is defense. Glenn Box certainly has brought it from Indiana. It's a pressure defense, and they are turning people over about 20 a game, and that adds to the offense as well. So you bank on their skill, you bank on their character and their basketball IQ, and then they've got one thought, and that is to win it all, and that's what they intend to do at the MAC tournament.
That's going to do it for this edition of Sports for CLE. I want to remind you can watch all of the Mid-American Conference Women's Basketball Tournament Wednesday starting at 11 o'clock, ESPN Plus. The quarterfinals, all 4 of them will be on ESPN Plus. Congratulations to all the teams reaching Rocket Arena in Cleveland, and best of luck as you battle through this MAC tournament for the chance to represent the conference in the NCAA tournament. We'll see you again tomorrow on Sports for CLE. We will preview the Mid-American Conference Men's Basketball Tournament. Have a great night, everybody. See you tomorrow at 4 on Sports for CLE.